Welcome to Stretford Paddock. Today's show is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Now, more than ever, we rely on the internet, whether that's streaming shows, streaming podcasts, speaking with loved ones, or, of course, watching the football. Now, more than ever, with our rapidly growing digital footprint, security is a huge concern. Thankfully though, Surfshark have got you covered because Surfshark VPN have got access to servers in loads of different countries, which means that you can change your virtual location to a place where the sport might be free to air, or there are different broadcasting rights, or even just being able to log in to your services from back home if you're abroad. Surfshark VPN also encrypts your online connection, making sure that all of your activities, including streaming matches, remains private and secure. And even if you're not just streaming football, whether it's the latest Netflix show or something on Amazon that you've been wanting to watch, you can watch it no matter where you are. And also, there's plenty of region exclusive stuff that you can get access to by changing your digital location. And by connecting to the optimized servers provided by Surfshark VPN, you may actually get faster streaming speeds and reduced buffering, so you're not going to be waiting ages to see if that last minute shot actually went in. Overall, Surfshark VPN offers you the best flexibility, security, and accessibility to all the streaming and shows you could possibly want, making it the best choice for streaming. And currently Surfshark have a phenomenal deal on. Using the code Paddock, which is easy to remember, you get 4 extra months for free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, 4 extra months for free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go and check out the link in the description. And thank you once again to Surfshark for sponsoring the show.
Yes, I know that Jay and Joe aren't here on the podcast, but I've heard rumours that they are seeking out an event space for May when Manchester United bring home the 21st league title. We're not getting ahead of ourselves, they're just rumours, but I've heard that they're looking for a Wetherspoons very close by. So in their shoes, we've got... We're allowed to say that?
I've never been... Do you know what?
You've never been to Wetherspoons?
Nah.
Oh, you have, right?
I have.
Burger and a beer, £1.
I have been to Wetherspoons, but I don't think I've been...
Incredible business model, isn't it?
I don't think I haven't been to it in years.
Would you go if United won the league?
David, get breakfast?
I'd definitely go. I'd go anywhere anyone wants me to go.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. How are we winning the league, Ronny?
Possibly.
Finn?
Obviously.
Polymarket suggests we have a 2% chance.
Yeah.
And a
But
2%
That's enough for me.
Come Saturday when we beat Spurs, that will go to at least 10.
2% chance, 98% faith.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Good odds. And how about you, Tom?
I'm not convinced that Arsenal are going to drop enough points for us. But I do think that we could finish second. Who knows? If they do bottle it in true Arsenal fashion, then maybe we get brought into it. Just one game at a time.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels good to have a Monday. This is the third Monday on a bounce where we're related for 7 days. It's like new territory for being a Manchester United fan.
Do you know what happens? The elation for 7 days, it makes you a little bit anxious for the next match in a different way. It's almost like, even last week, we got to... Obviously, the game's on a Sunday. It got to Thursday and I was literally withdrawal.
Yeah.
I was like, carry ball. I was like, itching and that. I was like,
Need it back.
It's whatever mood it leaves you in. You know you're in it for a week because we're playing so few bloody games.
Yeah.
So.
Which is better than the sort of the existential dread that we used to over the weekend.
And you know, it's like, but the thing is, it was different because the Fulham game doesn't have the same kind of emotionally charged rivalry aspect of it that
City and
Arsenal had. It's different. But for one, I'm not going to lie to you.
Cheers, man.
I think Fulham impressed me more than Arsenal and City did.
That was that felt like a tougher win.
Yeah.
Than the other two.
It felt like it took more.
Yeah.
It went down to the line closer. The Arsenal one, it felt like no matter what happened that game, we were going to get a win out of it. Whereas Fulham, I was nervy. I wasn't sure until the Sesko dagger, obviously.
Yeah. The last sort of 5 minutes. Right, there's nearly 500 of you watching, 29 of the likes. If you think Manchester United are going to win the league, get hitting that like button. We can only win the league if you get us to a 500 by the end, and I'm not taking the blame for that.
That's how it
all
works.
Down to you. Right, let's look at the game from yesterday then, Finn. We were talking there that it felt like a more of a hard-fought victory. There's a lot of decisions from the referee that was left with a lot of question marks. Marco Silva is still hanging outside some boozer trying to drink away his woes. What did you think of the referee's performance overall first?
Yeah, I think, at the end of the day, the penalty wasn't in the box. So, you can claim that it was or wasn't, but I think you can't have that many arguments about it. At the end of the day, I think it was all right. I don't know. I don't really have any complaints, to be honest.
Fulham do though, don't they?
Fulham do, but,
they
but
do.
at the end of the day, we won fair and
The
square.
goal
so-
that got chalked off is just, I hate seeing them. Like, you show me replays and I still can't see. I feel like they gaslight you because it's like that kind of replay where it's just a little slither of someone's arm. It's like, some days you'll show me that to say that it was onside, and other days it's to say that it's definitely off.
They didn't show it for a Mount goal.
But I'm trusting
Derby.
No.
What I'm saying is, if the decision goes our way, then I'm trusting the technology.
Yeah.
I think correct decision. Yeah.
I completely agree. And if it hadn't gone our way, the technology needs binning.
It needs
and
binning.
going back to how it was in the 1980s.
We've over-modernised. It's gone too far. Bring it back to what it used to be. Yeah.
We've had a lot of decisions that haven't gone our way as well. So I don't know. So everything always equalises. But I think it was a foul on Cooney anyway. The pull.
Yeah.
I think he was arguing about the little kind of nuances of the way VAR works, because it's like, oh, can you actually VAR a free kick, or is it like a penalty decision you was VARing? But I think
Because
ultimately,
I thought you can't pull it back to a free kick.
I thought, I don't know.
You can, because the opposite works. I think, was it Brentford the other week where Van Dijk makes the foul on the edge of the box,
Yeah.
and then VAR looks to see if it was in. So vice versa, it's the same thing. Penalty always gets looked at, so they'll stick it outside the box.
What made it confusing was because people didn't know whether what was being VAR'd was the slide tackle by Cuenca at the end or the actual pull before it. But for me, all that matters is the right decision was given, because he did pull his shirt outside of the box, which is a foul. And you could actually argue that the only reason why he was able to stick with Cunha to make the slide tackle at the end was because he pulled him. So for me, it's a foul. It was given, and then as Fulham, you got to defend it. They didn't defend it well enough. I think Cuenca, who actually gave the free kick away, got absolutely towered and bullied by Casemiro for that goal anyway. So it's poetic justice.
It really was. And for the goal, Tom, it just felt like textbook Casemiro, doesn't it? It's like, if you put that ball anywhere in that 18-yard box and he's there, it's magnetic.
It's amazing how often it lands
Brazilian
on dead.
face.
Yeah, in both boxes.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame he's leaving at the end of the season, but hopefully he has a good couple of months, gets us into the Champions League. But decisions wise, I thought I don't really see how you can have any complaints with that one. The pull started outside the box. You're looking at the foul, and you know, as a whole, there's a bit of a pull, then there's a slide. Doesn't really matter. No complaints. I thought the Mburmo one was a bit suspect because he steadies himself for a shot and he gets a big shove in the back before a tackle comes in.
Yeah.
So I think they were perhaps a bit fortunate there with that one. And I thought the Maguire one was, I thought it was a penalty. The ball was still in play as well after it went over the keeper. So Jimenez is on the floor because Maguire's come flying in. Not loads of contact, but he comes in very forcefully. You've got to be careful there. Probably should have trusted his keeper more.
Certainly. And then looking back to Uncle Cass, that's going to go away in the summer. It was a brilliant performance all round for him, obviously with the assist and the goal. And then someone there did an analogy, said it looks like Casemiro's heard the opening of a pie and then looked that way and passed the ball that way.
The no-look pass.
Yeah, the no-look pass was
that is a meme and
sensational.
gif I'll be using for sure.
It was absolutely beautiful, and it's just a testament to the years of experience and dominance that he's had at the top level, that he has the kind of confidence to pull something like that off, the belief in himself. It's kind of a perfect fairy tale ending to his story at Manchester United. Obviously now with us knowing that he's going to leave in the summer, he's putting together a fantastic end to the season, and it's really been a joy to watch him recently. Looked like he was done in the United shirt, but he's now become one of our most important players, and it looks like one of the big things this summer will be how do we actually replace him, whereas 6-8 months ago it looked like he was almost completely cast aside.
Yeah, the majority of United fans were pushing him out the door. It was about 6-7 months ago.
He's absolutely vital now.
It's crazy the amount of value he provides now, because you think about replacing him, because he's one of our biggest threats in the opponent penalty area, but he also does a great job in our defensive third and defensive penalty area as well. You very rarely get players, especially for a midfielder, that kind of provides that much value in both boxes, which obviously two of the most important areas of the football pitch as well. So when you think about it, this United got a serious job on in replacing him, but maybe because you talk about Elliot Anderson and Baleba, which are players that are able to do certain things better than him, I guess, and probably have a little bit more legs, but sometimes it goes beyond the tangible stuff and towards the intangibles, which is obviously his leadership and his camaraderie with the team and the players.
You can't put an XG on that.
You can't really put that.
I think the set piece stuff will probably miss the most.
And
little things as well, like I know it's the dark arts of the game, but I think a lot of people were shouting at Bassi when Bruno did him there that you got to just take him out. I think Casemiro is very good at knowing when to foul. When he reads the game well, always has a yellow card, always needs to come off with 10 minutes to go. But I think there's a few areas that will it'll be a big job to replace him.
Some of these serial winners who have just won everything in their career at big clubs, Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues, a lot of it is the intangibles that at first you can't really put a finger on what he's doing differently, what the key details are. But like you said, it's that know-how, knowing if he was in Bassey's situation there, probably would have taken out Bruno. And it's those small details that I think will actually be the hardest to replace, because on paper, like I said, like an Elliot Anderson, purely from a footballing quality point of view, can probably do everything that Casemiro's doing and potentially more. Yeah. But it's whether you can replace those smaller details from Casemiro that will be really difficult.
He's not as good in the air though. He ain't the aerial threat. That's the thing. He's also got that thing. And he's got, he just has that knack in it, Casemiro, but he goes in the box really well.
Just knows where to be.
And I think, it's perfect because it seems like he's stepped up his game recently. Casemiro is known as Mr. Champions League anyway. He's got 5 Champions Leagues to his name, and he's like, I can't leave Manchester United without giving them Champions League football. And he's just...
Shame he won't play in it if we do get there.
But someone's put there, it's true, Heaven Soul, he's so passionate as well, he was almost in tears hugging Cunha after Sesko's goal. But I like... Carrick's back must be killing him, because Casemiro, every time we score, he's always jumping all over Michael Carrick. But he absolutely loves it, and for us, like a player who's sort of steeped in glory and stuff like that, just to see this at the end of his career. And another thing that's been beautiful to watch was Carragher eating his words. Tom, did you see that this week about saying the football hasn't left him?
I did, yeah. I mean, it's long overdue.
Overdue, really, isn't it?
Apology. Well, he has a habit of doing this. Did it with Martinez, and he's had to climb down on that as well. He goes quite big with Man United players.
Yeah, you got to give it. I guess you can respect in the sense, obviously admitting that he's wrong. But I feel like that's something that someone like Carragher hates in it. So he's like
gritted teeth. That
he's through proper gritted teeth, but at least he got down in the end. But yeah, I think there's just a general feel good factor throughout the team in general. Obviously, seeing that as we'll get to Cunha's goal.
But yeah, Cunha's
the celebrations and the team.
No, Ronny, how do you do it?
I'm not gonna. I ain't.
What is it called?
You know what? I don't think I'm stiff. But I think I'm stiff.
Is it called the surfer? I don't know.
Surfboard, man.
Is it the surfboard?
I have no idea.
Something like that.
Because I watched Ahmad doing it. Ahmad looks like he's trying to be a puppeteer.
It's like the. Imagine like that Beyonce song. I don't know what it is. Where she talks about that. Oh, that's a bit.
The Drunken Love one.
I think Drunken Love.
I don't think that's yeah.
Surfboard. Oh yeah.
I think that's a completely different context.
It's followed by something a little
bit more. His kids watching Ronny.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to his goal scoring rather than his surfing. But he took that goal sweet.
He did, but and the no look pass. But we're talking about the vibes, isn't it? I think this is generally what happens though, because when an interim manager comes in, I think their main job is to settle the ship, don't they? Yeah. And then they create a bit of a vibey, feel good factor. I think that was kind of what was quite instrumental to the success that we had under Ronny at times, especially early. Was a lot of it does like morale and stuff, does add those small percentages and margins to your game where you can get results over the line and you show that character and you keep going, and obviously how Sesko scored in the end. And I think that United are doing really well with that now, and it seems like a team that's together, players that like each other. I think the vibes lifted a little bit, and it's helping us obviously get results. I think it's probably a bit disingenuous to just say it's just that. Yeah. Obviously, Carrick's done well with his team selections and tactically. How we will look going into possibly next season or later on, when there's more tests to come in the remaining, is it 14 games?
14 games.
Yeah. Remains to be seen. But right now, we can just bask in the fact that we're actually enjoying seeing United win games. It's 3 in a row now, and top 4 looks extremely viable, which was something that before the season started, I feel like even the biggest optimist probably wouldn't have been thinking.
I think most were going for 6.
I'm a very optimistic United fan, and mine was 6th or 7th was like kind of the ceiling that I saw for us. So the fact that now top 4 looks almost likely, it's an amazing step up that we've taken.
I think they're weak dreams, them, to be honest.
Yeah. Well,
top 4 is a definite.
Top 4 is nailed.
You're dreaming weak, Finn. What have we got in?
We're winning the title.
There we go, Finn. Fucking hell. Right,
winning the title is top 4.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what is
that what you meant? Yeah. Tom, are you putting it down to vibes, or what has Carrick done? Anything different tactically? Obviously, we changed formation. What do you put it down to?
I think having them 2 games that we know we can produce in the big games. We've often put performances in, but getting two results back to back, it's that. How many times have we seen a result and we think, okay, you look ahead at the fixtures and think chance to build a bit of momentum here, and we just haven't done it at any point. It's always, we have a positive result, then we have a disappointing one, and it's been like that all season. I think getting that, just the belief to go and get the winner yesterday after conceding. That's probably no small part down to the momentum that gets built by, winning games one week, the next, and I think it was a massive goal yesterday, because I think we can allow ourselves to think a little bit short term. We've been analysing the future and where we're going and everything that's happened after all these results for so long, because we're down the bottom of the table, we're fighting for nothing. Whereas now that was massive for Champions League football. We're in it now, and we should. I think yesterday was about the result.
Yeah. And
getting that goal could be massive come the end of the season. Yeah. I know I look at Chelsea and I think, that Chelsea aren't up to much, and Villa are probably going to drop points, but you say what you want, the table's really tight. You've got to go and win it, and it's going to go right down to the wire. So goals like yesterday, it's massive.
Yeah. It's a major talking point, though, that as well, isn't it? Where after the City and Arsenal ever fought, the test that United have quickly struggled or often struggled against is the lesser teams, where the expectation is on United to take the game to teams and like disrupt them and like dictate the game, and that's maybe why we struggled more against Fulham than we did in the previous two. But it's weird because when I watch Fulham play, it feels like it's a bit harsh to kind of describe them as a lesser kind of low blocking team.
They were good yesterday. They were a good team.
It's a historical lens, isn't it? Old United versus Fulham of old. You've beaten these two teams. You should go and smash Fulham for. It's not going to.
I don't think that exists.
I'm pretty sure that outside of Arsenal and City, Fulham in 2026 have the most points in the Premier League.
They're one of the informed sides.
So
they've had the second most in the last 8.
Yeah, all of Carrick's 3 games have come against basically the 3 most informed teams in the Premier League. So. What a start.
Yeah, and then we've got small teams next coming up. So let's look at the next fixtures. Obviously, it's United versus Tottenham on Saturday at 12:30. And obviously, you can watch the watch-along here on Stretford Paddock. Spurs surprisingly got a draw yesterday, Finn. Didn't look like it in the first half. I thought Thomas Frank was catching a P45 at full time.
Yeah.
They got back into it.
They did, yeah. And so, a lot of that's down to Solanke. I think City just still are off it. No matter what player quality they add to their team, you can buy as many Semenyos and Shirkis as you want, but I think they're in a decline, and I think it's looking more and more like it's going to be Guardiola's last season. So I think it's a real chance to capitalise and leapfrog them, and I think we can do that this season. I think the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if we were able to finish higher than them. I don't want to get ahead of myself, obviously, and maybe we are. It's only been 3 games under Carrick, but the trajectory just looks so much different now when you compare it to a City. So yeah, obviously it helps us a little bit that Tottenham got the draw there. Yeah. But we've just got to focus on ourselves, and I think we've got what it takes to beat Tottenham quite easily as well.
So to surmise, Guardiola's getting sacked. We're beating Spurs and we're winning the league.
Yeah.
Finn, you're on fire today, boy. Ronaldo, what do you reckon?
I think that there is probably a possibility, because they obviously have to balance cup competitions as well. United have the 1 game a week benefit, but when we're talking about how United fare against the lesser teams, etc., it's almost hard to say that now in this the way the Premier League is now. It's just competitive throughout.
There's almost
there is no real easy games. Lesser teams are more lesser teams in terms of theory rather than what they're actually performing and play like, and the gap and the margins have just never really been tighter. So because you're looking at them thinking Tottenham, they're in a poor run of form, but they still have decent personnel and they still have some quality. West Ham have had a bit of a mini resurgence of late, a little bit, performing a little bit better. Everton have been pretty okay and decent all season. These are games, to be fair, I'm always steadfast about standards. I still believe United should be expecting to win those, based on where we are now and looking at those. But it's more just about that dominant minute 1 to minute 90 performance that people obviously want from us, especially against the teams that are outside the big 6. But I'm just going to come out and say it's kind of hard to do that, obviously, now. And obviously people were kind of saying the Fulham game we struggled. People are still trying to be a bit devil's advocate with it, saying we did struggle a little bit more than last 2, so it's showing that United still have that little thing about not being quite as intense or dropping a little bit when they're playing against non-big sides, where it's already emotionally charged and you don't really have to get yourself up for it as much because it just naturally happens. But I still think the performance wasn't poor. Like, there was still some decent parts of it and some good parts of it, which is in the past before there was a lot of games we'd leave, whether we drew or lost, and you'd just be thinking that was horrid for the most part. You know what I mean? At least even if there's performances that aren't quite perfect, there's a lot more redeeming factors involved.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think you can have a wholly poor performance and score 3 goals and win the game. It just doesn't suit the narrative at all. And we're looking at rivalry. The game against Spurs, okay, they're not, classic rivals, but them beating us in the Europa League last year will leave salt on the wounds. We couldn't beat them at their place this season. Do you think we'll turn them over, make it 4 in the bounce?
I mean, they've kind of had the beating of us more often than we've had the beating of them recently, and often going into them games thinking, this is Spurs, it's an opportunity, because they've not been in a great place either. I don't know. I thought they were a little bit fortunate with the first goal yesterday. I thought it was a foul on Guehi, kicks through him, but they took advantage of a City. I don't think City, even in spite of being 2-0 up, never really quite got going. And at half time, as you say, I thought this is going to be probably the end for Thomas Frank, but they found something. The league's very tight at the minute, and even Spurs will be looking at it thinking, okay, if we do, we've got our striker back now, we can find a bit of momentum, we will climb the table quite quickly. So it's another game that's I don't think it's whereas with Fulham, as you say, you're never going to get that same emotion, even though Fulham are right now a better team than Spurs, and that's a more impressive 3 points. But United Spurs is always going to have that a little bit of emotion around it. It's a big game, and it's another. If you can win that, then 4 games on the trot. Fella's nearly getting his hair cut. Yeah.
That haircut is coming. Yeah. It's on its way.
Someone said that there. Is he called the United Strand? Is he going to get his hair cut? Let's get some more comments.
Spurs don't worry me too much. Solanke gives them a little bit something now.
Do we know what Van der Ven and Romero's injury situation is? Because
nothing on Romero, because he went off, didn't he? It was only yesterday. So
it could be high scoring that.
I think game. There is goals in it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of goals in that game, possibly, because they look quite weak defensively. Tottenham, they have defensive injuries to the centre. I think Polina played a lot of the game yesterday, centre half. And obviously, I just think United and the way that we've been attacking will obviously be good for goals, and we've got players that are clinical, players that can punish, and then Tottenham aren't a possession-based side either. So, would
you keep the same front three as we had against Fulham, or do you think Sesko comes in?
I think I'd want to change it, because there was an imbalance that I noticed, which I thought might have been the case before it. Dorgu doesn't have the same match-winning ability going forward, saying that he scored a screamer against Arsenal, he's playing well, as someone like a Cooney, I guess, who's more of a natural attacker. But I think the width that Dorgu provides and holds his width a bit more on the left, it actually balances the team a little bit better. I think what happened was Cooney drifts so much when he plays on the left, then you have no width on that side unless it's provided by Luke Shaw being a marauding fullback on the end. That's not him anymore. So then what happened was he was kind of narrow on that one side, and then you've got all the attack was getting thrown down the right, and then we had no real out ball on the left. And also what happens was, what was concerning me is Castagna kept being the out ball whenever Fulham were playing out on the right side, because Cooney was going wandabouts. When they regained the ball, they just find him because he wasn't there. He doesn't kind of Cooney doesn't really adhere to the structure of the team as much. But it's like that give and take,
because he scores the goals.
There's always a chance he can create something, because he's the one that got that. He got the penalty, didn't he? He got the free kick that led to the goal by running from the left all the way down to the right
channel, weren't they?
Right channel.
His goal as well.
So he's you give and take in it, but
it is a tough decision for him.
So what front three would you go for?
I would have actually gone with Cooney up, because he's put Mbumo top and Cooney on. I think Mbumo against teams that press really well, where you might have to play over the press a little bit quite long. I don't think he's quite a strong focal point for that, as good as sometimes his link play and touch can be at times. I think I would have swapped Cooney and Mbumo, so I would have put Cooney up top instead, and then Mbumo on the left.
Still no Sesko.
But now I've put Sesko in my starting lineup 2 weeks in a row, and he's not started either, and then he's scored. But obviously it's hard to sometimes fully change a winning team. But again, I probably will.
It's a lovely problem to have.
I probably will start him again. I'm not. You know why? Because they have a centre half issue. I think they're playing Dragusin and maybe Paulinho if he's injured, and then you're thinking crosses in the box, aerially. Sesko might eat them both.
Yeah, so I think it's a full-named hug. He says Spurs do have a crazy amount of injuries. Akash KO 210. So Spurs are in a rut of bad form right now. Wild, would you guys buy Sanderberg from Fulham as an option next season?
I definitely wouldn't hate him as a squad option, but he's not Anderson and he's not Baleba in terms of that calibre of midfielder. But United need some players who can be really helpful on the fringes, and when your alternative is someone like Manuel Ugarte, not to bash him, but I just think we've seen this season especially that he's just not up to the standard that's needed for me, at least. So yeah, someone like him could be helpful. I think it's interesting because I think he's given Bruno more trouble than Declan Rice and Rodri did in the last 3 games or so. So yeah, don't hate him as a player.
Yeah, because he was linked to United before he went to Fulham, and everyone
Constantly.
scoffed at him, say he was available for United at 20-25 mil. Everyone was like, no, he's played for a relegation side, whatever that even means.
I've never understood that argument that someone's been in a relegation side, so they must just be a shit player.
It's just really poor analysis, and it's just basic. But then when Ugarte and said because he's a flashier name from PSG for double the money, and there's a lot of people that I saw that I respect saying go for Sander Berge because he's someone that could come in for 25 million and he's not coming on big wages and big expectations, but he can do a job really well. And a player like that is good for squad building because they provide a bit of balance straight away, but they can easily be segued to like a...
Still gives you room for a proper elite option.
To get an elite... They can always still go for an elite option when the time arises, and they can be easily transitioned to be a rotation player without much fuss.
Yeah.
And it's all right having a £25 million player not on higher wages to kind of be... to go from starting some games to being a rotation player and you still have the money whilst someone that's performing well to go and get someone bigger. What you do is you go spend 50 million on someone like Ugarte, who ends up just being a poor signing that you want to get rid of over a year, and then you're in a bit of a pickle.
I think on the feeling with Ugarte, watching him, is that if this goes well, he's a squad option that you've gone and spent £50 million on when you need to fix an issue in the squad and he's earning big wages. It's just really poor planning.
Yeah. Definitely.
Don't need him. Goretzka is available on a free in the summer. Could he not do a job?
Sailed years ago for Goretzka, in my opinion.
That's the thing.
He's another player that keeps
a name.
To United.
It's a big name. It's just a name, but he wouldn't provide as much value as someone like a Sander Berge, especially as a 6 who.
Yeah.
It's a crazy mentality, isn't it? Where people hear Goretzka and think, oh, that's an option. Whereas with someone like Sander Berge, I think when you're looking at relegation sides, it's very easy for people to see Acuna and an Mbeumo doing well because the stats are there. There's obvious goals and assists. But with anyone else, defenders and midfielders, I think sometimes that it's tricky to sell that to fans when it comes from a side further down the league.
Yeah, it doesn't have the sort of like the appeal, does it, I suppose. Right, we'll look at, we're going to get some deadline day news very shortly. So we've got these 6 games coming up, obviously Spurs on Saturday, West Ham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Newcastle and Villa. So 3 times 6, Finn, quick math.
18.
We'll go with that. So out of 18 points, what are you expecting? So between now and the middle of March?
I think a nice realistic target would be 13, 14.
Where are we dropping points in that?
Newcastle stands out to me. Also Everton away is, I think, going to be a little bit more difficult than people are anticipating.
14 is no defeat.
How do you get 14 points?
It's 4 wins and 2 draws.
I think it was 13 points is what you want to say.
13.
Which is 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw.
Yeah, to me that feels realistic.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I think Villa are going to have a little bit of a fall off towards the end of the season. I think their underlyings are catching up with them.
Yep.
And I don't think they've got what it takes to hold on to their position.
Right, so we're going to smoke Villa. Go on, next.
We're going to smoke Villa. Newcastle, I can see us having a little bit of trouble. We'll call that a draw.
No, we won't. We'll beat the Geordies. Keep going.
Okay. Palace will be... that one's at home, isn't it?
Yeah, Eagles kill them. Go on.
Easy. Everton is actually, I think, going to be the surprise loss. I think.
David Moyes again.
Away, David Moyes. Jared Branthwaite back in the team. Shored up the defence a little bit. I think that's going to be the difficult one.
Right,
West Ham, Tottenham.
It's not Goodison, though, is it?
Not yet. It's not Goodison, but... Did I say Goodison? Sorry.
No, you didn't. I just mean like...
Oh, right, yeah.
In the past, that game's been...
Maybe I'm still associating them with that, but I think that could be the surprise one.
It's all right to say Goodison Park. It's the same way with Newcastle. They changed it to the Sports Direct Arena, but I was still calling it St James's Park before it changed back.
Right, okay, so you've gone 13 out of 18. Tom, give us your prediction.
I don't know, Scotty. Looking ahead, we could have lost yesterday, couldn't we? The way the game was going, it could happen so easy. So really, it's just momentum, isn't it? If the main thing is if you drop points, it can't. At this point of the season, it can't turn into a blip because a blip will probably cost us Champions League. So there will be probably a surprise defeat in there. We always struggle at Newcastle, don't we? I actually think we can go to Everton and win. I think we'll beat Palace. I think the next 2 games I think are tricky ones because West Ham have had something of a resurgence. They always put in a performance against us. It's always tricky.
Their cup final, isn't it, West Ham?
It is, and Spurs that they'll be high after their draw. So I'm just never convinced going into Tottenham games at the minute. So I appreciate looking forward. I do think that we will consolidate Champions League place, and I do think we can. If things go right with other teams, look at second in the league and possibly beyond. But I wouldn't be looking ahead more than 1 game at the minute because it's
one game at a time.
It has to be. We haven't had momentum for so long. The whole season. I mean, look at all them draws with the West Ham and the Wolves and the Everton one at home. I got sucked into looking ahead, thinking after we'd beat Liverpool, we'd had a few good results, and I'm looking ahead thinking we can go on here.
Yeah.
And it didn't just not happen. It didn't happen spectacularly.
Yeah.
So. A little bit hesitant to look ahead, but I do think we'll find a good 4 wins in there.
Nice. Ronaldo?
I was actually, the reason why I knew 13 points was what I was going to go for, because that's what I was going to predict. I think 13 points out of 18 is what I predict. I think it's the Premier League's difficult. We probably will get 1 loss in there. There's also a possibility that United do something like, could you imagine 3 wins, 3 draws, 12 points? Still unbeaten.
It's when we drop points how we bounce back.
Could even be 15 in it. 5 wins, 1 loss. I feel like I'm really hedging my bets here, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I'll go 13 points.
13 and 13. I'm going 18 out of 18 because everyone knows me and I'm deluded. Right, let's get to deadline day. This has been the most underwhelming deadline day. I'd forgot completely about it. I didn't even realise people were changing clubs at all. So we've got some transfers on the screen there, and I can't read them. So I put that over to. Can you read them?
Yeah, I was going to say, Jesus Christ.
I can't read them.
What do you make of the centre half Liverpool?
Jeremy Jacques or Jacquet.
Yeah.
I know he's a very good player. He's one that pretty much every top European club would be interested in and have been keeping tabs. United have had scouts at Rennes games recently. So I think at the end of the day it's a good signing. It'll be interesting to see if they can platform him well and give him enough game time to start off with. I think he profiles as more of a kind of Konate replacement as opposed to a Van Dijk replacement, as some people have kind of suggested. But yeah, he's one of those young centre-backs who has the lot, really. He's got the physicality, he's 6'3", rapid, but also good on the ball. Yeah. So quite a complete package, and there's a reason that he's had so much hype around him. I still think a lot of people have said, oh, why weren't United in for him? He's better than Lenny Yoro. But I think given what Lenny Yoro did in France, I don't think you can say that yet, because that transition is
younger
difficult.
than him, Yoro.
Yoro's still younger than him. Yoro went straight into the French Team of the Year that year. He was playing in Europe as well, starting every game. So yeah, I think it's a good signing, to be fair, for Liverpool. Wouldn't have paid as much as they did, but then again, that's kind of what you pay for what are considered elite young talents now. So
how much did they spend on him?
Wasn't it 60?
85
with 10 added on.
$85 million.
Yeah, so whatever that is in.
So how much they spent this year then?
A lot. They've spent
close to half a bill.
They've spent 550 million
They've
euros.
completely kind of switched their model of recruitment. It's quite interesting.
They call themselves a socialist football club themselves.
The Isaac signing now looks crazy because he is a number 9. And I don't think he'll see himself any other way. But Ekitike looks brilliant.
For me, he's not better than Ekitike.
I don't believe he is. Yeah. No.
That's you know, you're talking about deadline day. We're talking about what Liverpool have done. Obviously, United aren't doing much. From what you've seen, obviously Dorgu being injured for 10 weeks and seeing how much of a miss he seems to be from like a bit of a tactical, probably squad composition standpoint. Are you a little bit worried that with this chance United have to properly salvage Champions League football, that Ineos haven't kind of looked at and thinks, can we get someone in to kind of just bolster what we have at the moment to get it over the line? Because what if you get an injury to someone else? The squad isn't exactly super thin, but it's probably thin in terms of the drop-off you get usually for when you go to the bench options. Obviously, Mason Mount wasn't available on the weekend. Apparently, it was a knock. I'm not sure what was happening there. And you can't really rely on his availability. I do think adding someone else could have been like a good piece of business just to consolidate the squad,
Alone,
have a
perhaps.
contingency plan, and make sure that you actually take the opportunity you've got in here. Because United found themselves in a serious opportunity. They didn't think they were going to be in the start of the season. What you probably didn't think like you probably deserved to be in with a run of form that we had under Amarim before he went, which was 3 wins and 11. And to capitalise on the fact that our rivals around us still managed to stumble themselves, so we're still there and thereabouts, and obviously with 3 wins on a bounce now, I think a little bit of ambition being shown by Ineos and not penny pinching would just to be the, can I get someone in just to give us that extra little bit of push to make sure that we're best placed to take advantage. And that's what I'd like to have seen us do, but it seems as though Ineos and United have taken the approach of we'll just wait till summer, which sounds good in theory if things work out, but I think it's dangerous because if United end up falling by the wayside and not getting Champions League football, it makes things harder from like a money and a revenue perspective to then do the business and get the targets that you actually wanted to get, which are invariably usually players of such a standing that they're probably going to be wanting to play Champions League football. And also, if you're in a bidding war with someone, that Champions League money and revenue, you'd need that, especially with not qualifying for Europe at all.
They're rolling the dice, aren't they, really? So if you don't invest now, then if you don't make Champions League football, all them sort of variables might not come off in the summer and won't have much money to spend anyway. So it is a risk. But then the flip side of it, I imagine from their point of view, is we've got 14 games left. We have got a pretty fit squad. We're not playing any cup football.
I think we're the only one, aren't we? With a realistic chance of. I don't want to, obviously have Brentford up there as well, but that all the teams around us have got their eyes on other things. We're in a good place injury-wise. I think the thinking was that any signing coming in was just going to be one from the summer that maybe you could accelerate, and I just would be. I'd have taken a sensible loan. Just be careful.
They seem to be very reluctant to do anything that doesn't fit concretely into the long-term plans. So a loan clearly doesn't appeal to them. But I think it's a massive gamble, to be honest. Especially when you consider someone like Elliot Anderson, who's going to be one of their top midfield targets. It's been quite widely reported that Champions League football will be absolutely vital in his decision. Yeah. It seems like Baleba is almost nailed on in terms of he's willing to come to United regardless, but there are players who will only go to a Champions League club, and so to gamble on that and to leave it kind of up to chance, it feels it's a bit uncomfortable. I don't want to single out again someone like Ugarte, but you look at the midfield options in that three. If either Kobbie Mainoo or Casemiro get injured, you are playing Ugarte in that pivot, and I think that's quite the drop off, and it's just a gamble, and I'm not too comfortable with it.
See, I was all right with it, and then you've just sold me that.
Yeah,
slice of shit cake.
Yeah. And those injuries can happen anywhere in the squad, and sometimes that drop off is bigger than you imagine it's going to be. They're treading a thin line, I think.
Carrick could get
part of the gamble as well. I think is maybe expecting that it's going to be 5 places available.
Yeah, that's true.
What about this? Secret midfield though, wasn't it like we're sort of like picking someone up like the masked singer? We don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, I think if it was Ruben Neves that was rumoured to be the secret midfield signing, I think that's another option that would have been smart, especially if it can be done in a financially responsible way. But did it ever come out who it was?
It didn't. This is what's annoying. What type of journalism is that?
Yeah,
the secret midfielder.
Yeah,
I can't
tell you. Yeah,
when me saying that there's a secret midfielder that United in for is something that can't really be rebunked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like
just says all about modern journalism, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. Just what can I say that kind of hedges as many bets as possible, whilst being as ambiguous and obscure as possible. So I can't really be wrong, but do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Samsi, one of them.
There's a lot of people here talking about Faiza Malik and old school Kanda talking about Tonali in the summer.
Well, have you seen what Pletigol's been?
No, I've heard links.
Throwing out complete rubbish. I think that's been debunked.
Oh, right.
The Tonali one. But he also said that United tried to hijack the Jeremy Jacquet deal. And he's been. I don't know. I think he works for Sky Germany, but he just comes out with the most obviously bullshit stories ever. I don't know why you'd throw your reputation away like that.
Do you know what's mad? Finn had me say rebunked before, and as soon as I said rebunked, I was like, that did not sound right.
I think it was between debunked and rebunked.
And he didn't correct me. And then you know what Finn did? Finn went, you know what? Let me just say it correctly 30 seconds later.
That was not my intention.
And I did
The worst thing he could have done.
I paused when I said it. I was like, that didn't sound right. And I was like,
He's killed you there.
I'm sorry.
Nah, go on. No, you don't.
No, I've
You
said
finished now?
I've said my piece.
The grammar class, nice one. Right, Matt G with the super chat. Finn thoughts on Angel Gomez to Wolves and Biancheri to Rotherham, loaning players to relegation battling EFL teams.
Yes, in terms of Angel Gomez, I'm really excited to see him back in the Premier League. I think it's going to be a difficult task coming into a Wolves side, but we know the quality that he's got, and hopefully he's able to keep up, because when he's playing well and when he's platformed well, he's an absolute joy to watch. One of the most technical players that I've ever seen come through United's academy. So I think that's really exciting. In terms of Biancheri and a few of the other academy players in the 21s have gone out on loan today, or there are agreements that are about to be reached. And I think it will be good experience for them. I think some of them are being quite, again, given quite hard tasks coming into relegation battling sides. I think it will be a good test of character and a good kind of learning curve for them to be in that unsettled kind of environment. A lot of these under-21 players in this group have experienced kind of nothing but success and domination in their age group for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
A lot of these are the players that were involved in the under-18 side that won the domestic treble under Adam Lawrence a couple of years ago, and then they've gone on now top of the PL2 for the under-21. So not to say it's not been challenging for them, but it's been quite smooth sailing in the last few years of their development. So it's definitely a big switch up to then suddenly go to an EFL side who's not necessarily doing so well. It's a really important part of their development. I think a lot of them have clearly started to outgrow that under-21 level of football. Players like James Scanlon as well. Harry Amas has done well on his loan so far, but it sounds like he might be injured, which is a bit worrying. Ethan Wheatley as well. I think it's going to be great experience for all of them, and yeah, it's really good to see that we're managing their loans well.
Very informative as usual. Finn, right, there's nearly 1,500 of you watching and only 215 likes. Get hitting that like button. We're going to go through the top 5 teams now and rank their squads till the end of the season. So starting with Arsenal.
Okay.
Tom, what should we gauge this on?
I don't know.
If they what we're going to give like an A, B, C, or should we do if Arsenal squad was a song? What would it be? If Arsenal were a Nando's sauce, what would they be?
I'm just going to go out. I'm going to give them B+.
B plus.
Yeah.
You look at that squad and they're all decent players, but
They have
it's a little bit underwhelming.
They have no superstars in it. You know what it is? What makes them, because it's a league now where a lot of the lesser teams can have a lot of quality themselves. Like when it's comparative, it doesn't look all that amazing. But I think what Arsenal have is they have 16 players pretty much, or 15 players that are all at least solid.
And it's the physicality as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously I rate Saliba extremely highly. I think Declan Rice is good, is great as well. I think I do rate, because their trinity is meant to be Saliba, Rice and Saka, who's their three best players.
Spine,
world-class talents. And then Saka's not really been the same since he's come back from his hamstring injury. So, and then obviously Odegaard's fell off. It's weird because you look at the team and it's like no one really goes, oh, you're absolutely remarkable, or you're like a superstar. But it's pretty decently steady in every single position, even when you go to the bench where the depth is quite strong as well.
I don't think they have a single player in the Premier League's top 10 goal scorers or assisters. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
Yeah, they do. Own goals. Own goals is their
lead scorer.
I think he's
another one of the weekend one there.
Their third goal scorer.
It's mental.
Directly from a corner.
For a team that look the favourites for a Premier League title this year, that is just mental to me.
If they do win the league, is it the most underwhelming team to win a Premier League? Do you think?
It's got to be.
I don't know. I think they're so strong defensively, and right now they've become more reliant on the set piece as the season's gone on. As they've navigated their blip quite well. They haven't fallen off because they have this. They're so good at keeping clean sheets. Even the game against, when we played them, Arsenal didn't play well. But it was amazing how much you had to battle for any space that even a poor Arsenal team nearly got away with a result there. And we scored a couple of screamers, obviously, and they made a mistake. That doesn't happen every week. I think they'll have more than enough. I think even the players that you did mention, like Gabriel and Timber, they're just so strong there at the back. They have going forward. It's just not very. It isn't very exciting. Gyökeres has a lot of money been spent on him, and I don't think he's the one. I think when Gabriel comes into the team, he might not be the physical presence up there, but
Havertz maybe
offers a bit more in terms of between the lines and that. Arsenal will have enough to go and win the league. I'm certain of that.
Okay, one player. It's deadline day, so hypothetically, if you could take one Arsenal player there and put it in a Manchester United team, which one would it be? Quickly,
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice.
100%.
Okay, let's go to the next team. We have Man City. Same question to you, Finn.
Rodri.
One player.
That's a little bit harder. Maybe Rodri again, although post ACL, I don't know if he's quite the same player as he was. Shirky's a bit of a magician. If we're looking at a post Bruno Fernandes Manchester United in the next few years, he's one player who could maybe step into those shoes. But yeah, maybe Shirky.
Yeah, how about you, Ronny?
I'd even take Nico Gonzalez at this point. Just it's what we need. Depth in that area of the pitch.
Yeah.
It's hard not to say Haaland, isn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, I kind of ignore Haaland
I
there.
feel like if you just take Haaland out of it,
I believe
probably
in
is Semenyo
Sesko.
I would have taken.
With their sort of, their fall off or their impending doom, as Finn may have put it, is this the worst Man City team that you've seen since Guardiola's been there, Tom?
It's hard to say, isn't it? Because it just feels weird watching them right now, and it feels like they've got a little bit lost. Foden seems lost. Haaland, for everything he is, it just seems every couple of weeks he has these games where we're still talking about how little he offers when City aren't clicking. They're signing players, they're spending a lot of money, but it just doesn't really seem to improve. I mean, last January they went and they spent all this money on Mamouche, and a couple of defenders came in as well. One's already left on loan. What's his name? The Brazilian.
Savinho?
No, is it Rice? How do you? I can't
Victor
remember.
Reis. Yeah.
They're spending money, but it just doesn't seem to. I don't think City can fix what's happening right now. I think they're just coming off the back of a bit of an era.
Yeah,
Guardiola, and
era's come to an end.
Yeah, there's probably the sooner Pep moves on and they.
Someone's put Alex204293. It looks like those brown paper envelopes are dried up, and so are the W's. I have no idea what's in those brown paper envelopes. Old Jordan.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So A, B, or C? What you grade are you giving that, Ronny?
I'll give him a B.
B minus.
I think what's happened is I think the Premier League has gone to a style of football and way, like in terms of physicality, pace, and like verticality, that's not suited to what Pep was. So I think football has evolved, whether you like the way it's evolved or not. I think it's gone past a bit what Pep is.
No more ticky-tacky football. It's all about set pieces.
Yeah. And also he doesn't quite have, because of the finances, the amount of money lower down the league is quite high. I don't think he has the same amount of discrepancy that he's used to with the amount that he can spend compared to the competition.
Yeah. We've got Unai Emery's Aston Villa. Finn? Good team to watch when they're playing well, Villa.
Yeah, and I feel like they are quite a moment team. Maybe that's a little bit harsh on them and a bit harsh on what Unai Emery's done, because I think he's kind of good at squeezing the absolute most out of a group of players, and he's done incredibly well to have them where they are at this point in the season. But for me, like I said earlier, I think they've got a little bit of a fall off incoming. Their underlyings aren't good. Obviously, it's not all about stats at the end of the day, but their kind of suggested points is closer to mid-table almost. So yeah, they do have the moments of quality. Someone like a Morgan Rogers who can, he punished us when we played against him. A player who can create something out of nothing and has that final ball. So it's a good squad and they're having a great season. But yeah, I think that fall off is coming, and I think the chasers are going to catch up with them.
Struggling with the European football, do you think, Ronny?
Yeah, they are. I think they've had injury issues as well. I think maybe a little bit of burnout and catch up. I think they've been overperformed next year massively as well. And I think it's just kind of balancing out. And I think their demise or fall has been coming, and it's arrived now. I think they've got 1 win in the last 4, so they're going to come back down to the pack, and we'll be there.
Yes, we will be, like a bunch of hyenas ready to swallow them up. Tom, I'll put it on you. If you could grab one of them players and put them in a Manchester United shirt, which one would it be?
Oh, fucking hell. Right now, maybe I don't know, Douglas Luiz. I don't know. Morgan Rogers is fantastic, isn't he? But I feel like we're a bit overstacked in that part of the pitch.
Yeah.
I'm taking a midfielder again. I'll take Douglas Luiz.
Douglas Luiz. And then next we got...
If I'd take Rodgers, or I'd take, unpopular opinion, I'd probably take Amadou Onana.
Yeah, off the bench, yeah.
Okay, next.
Kamara injured at the moment.
Oh, we're not talking about Chelsea. Can't be asked for that. Nobody wants to talk about them.
Cole Palmer.
It's just messy, isn't it? Did you watch the first half
they're not
against
even a
West
proper.
Ham?
They're not even a proper squad.
Caicedo.
Garnacho and Hato down that left-hand side.
That is the
Horrendous.
lineup of a team that have spent more money than any other club on the planet.
Yeah, I'd
in the
take
last couple of years.
Caicedo, all right. I'd actually take Caicedo or Reece James before I'd take Palmer.
Would you?
Really?
I would. You know what?
I'd
Unpopular.
probably take Caicedo over anyone with, well,
This will sound a
maybe
bit
not Rice,
mental. I'd take Josh Aki-Ampong off the bench.
Highly rated, isn't he?
I'd take Cole Palmer back and rescue him and bring him back to Wythenshawe. Anyway, thank you, lads, for joining us on this Monday night. If you missed the intro, sorry, Joe and Jay couldn't be here. They are looking at places to hold the end of season trophy parade for Manchester United on behalf of people at Stretford Paddock. We'll be having Bovril and bacon butties and other vegetarian options will be available. Tom, thank you very much for joining us.
Scotty.
Ronaldo, Finn, catch you guys soon, and the producer monkeys in a bit.
See you later.